Let me screen share here.
Yeah. Can share.
Okay. So we also introduce a new thing today, collocations. So collocations are pairings of words. And also in English, we often use, we say words in a certain order, but that's separate from collocation. For example, we normally say tea and biscuits rather than biscuits and tea.
Oh,
Fish and chips rather than chips and fish, right? Nuts and bolts.
nuts.
Nuts and bolts. Nuts are a type of fastener, and a bolt is also a type of fastener.
You mean on the wheel?
No, let me show you.
I think
These are nuts and bolts.
oh,
The long part that's threaded, that's a nut. And then the small fastener in the hexagonal shape, that is a nut.
oh, okay.
So
So is that a
nuts,
screw?
but we-
That's not a screw, right? This is
a
not
screw has a tapered end like this.
a
A
thing.
nut is going to have an end that's flat. A
Oh.
screw is designed to penetrate, so it's designed to go inside, whereas a nut just fastens through a hole that's already there. That's the
Oh.
difference.
Fasten through the hole or fasten the hole?
Fasten through the hole.
Fasten through
Yeah.
the hole. Okay. Oh yeah, sorry to interrupt. Like usually we say I never do this or I have never done this.
I have never done this.
I have never done this.
When would we use I never do this? I can't think of any situation.
So we will
We would use present. We would use present perfect. I have never done this. That's present perfect negative. We have the verb to have plus the V3 of the verb to do. So have done.
So
I have never done this. Never acts as an adverb.
so like whenever we see have, has, and had, usually we will use V3 of the verb form, right?
Sorry, what? When we
if
see
let's
have,
say-
has, had, we would use V3 of the, not necessarily. You can use have as a regular verb. Like I have COVID. That's present perfect, or that's present simple.
that one,
If it's have plus V3, have or has plus V3, that's present perfect. And if it's had plus V3, then that's past perfect. Past perfect is rare. Present perfect is sort of common.
because it seems like have, it has many usages, like you can use have for eating, for to explain you have a disease.
Yeah, you're right. It can be
Oh.
used to talk about traits, like I have short fingers,
Oh, okay, I have
or I have a small head, something like that.
possessions, right?
Right. So you can talk about physical traits. You can talk about, your feelings. I'm having a tough time.
Oh yeah, correct. And then we don't say I never say this before. Can we say before at the end of the statement?
We
Or it's
can. We
unusual?
would say, I've never said this before. So
I've
again,
never
we're
said this.
we're using present perfect.
Or I've never said this before.
Mhm.
Okay, understood. Thank you.
Yep. Okay. The only reason to really know the labels is if you're going to be teaching them. Otherwise, as long as do you understand what I mean by that? Like, you don't need to know that it's called present perfect or past perfect unless you're teaching them. which both of you are
Mhm.
teaching in some way. You know, Carol is professionally teaching, Chu, you're teaching a bit, right? And you have a child who you're going to have to teach a bit. So I think it is important to know the actual definitions, not just the way that they're used for you
Oh,
guys.
you mean the grammar rules?
Everyone should know the grammar rules. What I mean is, does it help knowing that something is an adverb or an adjective? Not really. It's just a label.
Oh,
What's important is you understand how it fits into the sentence. Is it important that I know that something is present perfect? No, it's not important at all, as long as I can speak using it correctly. But if you're teaching, then they're going to be tested on that. So unfortunately, the system is set up in a way that really rewards labels. And
grammar labels.
right,
Correct.
yeah, it's about assigning labels to things. Like, can your student look at a sentence and say, okay, here's the noun, here's the verb, or if they're American, here's the subject, here's the predicate, you know, that sort of thing.
Okay.
Anyway,
Thank you.
all right. So proverbs and idioms. We have honesty is the best policy, an easy one.
Mhm.
Proverbs are idioms that have existed for a long time. So they're old. Like, we have proverbs from every culture. And a lot of times there's proverbs from different cultures that basically mean the same thing. Right? Like, there's a common Christian one, right? Let he who is without sin cast the first stone, which means, okay, I think it's probably from the Bible. I think it is. But they're about to kill someone by throwing stones at them because that person did something wrong. And then Jesus comes up and says, okay, well, the first person to throw the stone, have you ever done anything wrong in your life? If you've done nothing wrong, then you can throw a rock at this person. So that's come to mean, don't judge other people without looking at your own mistakes. But in other cultures, non-Christian cultures, right? You see proverbs that mean a similar thing, like don't judge other people, look to yourself first. So yeah, people sort of could say great minds think alike, to look at another idiom. Okay,
Look at yourself.
right, correct. This one by Shakespeare again. Anyone want to read?
No legacy is so rich as honesty.
This one's a bit tricky. What does that mean?
Nothing go beyond that honesty.
What's a legacy?
Something that unforgettable people will follow.
Right.
No.
So
It doesn't apply now in a new modern world. Sorry.
I think so. I think it, well, I guess that's your opinion.
Something that is left behind. It is something
Right.
left.
Your legacy is what you leave behind, even after you die.
Like you said that your legacy is to become a decent person. I still remember you.
Oh yeah, right. I did say that. Yeah, to be remembered as a decent person. That would
to
be my
remembered as
ideal legacy.
your ideal life.
So, someone who did more good for the world than bad. That would be a good way to be remembered. So the idea here is what? If no legacy is so rich, right? Because people talk about legacy like leaving something behind, but Shakespeare's saying that the money isn't as important as the fact that you lived an honest life. people will remember you for being honest. But maybe choose right. Maybe that's not really true. There's plenty of liars that are remembered well. There's lots of political figures that have died over the years, and people think of them as, heroes or very good people, even if they did lots of things that were wrong. Anyway, honor among thieves. This is a common one. So what is this one?
There is no honor among thieves.
Right. So I have the definition there already.
One dishonest person can't trust others.
Right. So the idea is like, let's say you have a bunch of students cheating on a test. They don't trust each other not to tell the teacher. Well, in this case, I guess they have a reason not to tell the teacher that someone else is cheating, because they would all get caught. But if thieves come to an agreement, right? If people who are dishonest come to an agreement, their own dishonesty is going to be their undoing, because they can't rely on each other. You can see this more in a literal sense if you look at various types of organized crime. Organized crime is the term for criminal organizations, like the mafia is the most prominent one. A mafia is a group of people working together in some sort of criminal business.
You mean mafia is like a big group of criminals that are set free or hard to track down?
No, a mafia it's a big group of it's a group of criminals that run their criminal group like a business.
Like money laundering?
Well, money laundering is what happens after someone commits it. Okay, so money laundering is taking dirty money and making it clean. So, for example, if you are running an illegal gambling operation, like let's say you're gambling in Thailand, which is illegal.
Mhm.
You take the money from the gambling and then you buy a legitimate business like a car wash, and then you have fake receipts. So you write up receipts, you hire people as employees who are also maybe in on it, and then they ring up a transaction. They say, okay, at 2 p.m., a red Chevy car came through. We charged him $20 for a car wash, and you keep doing that. And then when you show on when you have to do your taxes, you can show all your gambling money as money from the car wash. That's money laundering.
Oh, okay, I see. There's no relation with the mafia, right?
No, there is, but that's not all they do. The mafia would, because they try to hide in plain sight, right? So
I did. Sorry.
we have this expression to hide. To hide in plain sight. What does that mean? It means they don't want to be, don't want it to be obvious that they're criminals. They're not walking around with guns robbing people.
Oh, you
They're
mean
making-
mafia?
Right. Or any type of person who's hiding in plain sight.
Not to look so obvious.
Right. For example, in Thailand, to use Thailand as an example again, there was a German murderer. He killed some people, and then he came to Thailand, married a Thai woman, and he was living just a normal life in a village. And he wasn't caught until he went viral on social media because he was helping his wife with her food stand. So they were like, it went on one of those like uplifting news. Uplifting news is like news that makes you feel good. one of the Thai uplifting news sites on Facebook posted a video. They said, look at this kind foreigner helping his wife with her food stall. And then the police from Germany saw the Interpol, which is the international branch of police. They saw this guy in the video, and they said, oh, this guy killed a bunch of people in Germany. And then he was tracked down and arrested. But he had been living just a normal life without anyone noticing.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So hiding in plain sight is that. All right, I don't want to get too off track.
Oh, never mind.
So let's go on to collocations. So can you think of, we have strong tea and heavy drinker. What are some other collocations? So groups of words that are often paired together. Can you think of any? We said fish and chips, salt and,
I can only think of my own language.
what about salt? Salt and
Salt and pepper.
salt and pepper.
Black pepper. That one is single word, right? So it's not a pair.
I don't think that, okay, yeah, sure. It's more of a single meaning, but yeah,
How about computer science?
yeah.
Computer science or isn't it like
It's still, computer
power.
science is sort of like black pepper though, but yeah, I mean, technically.
Is
It's,
it a
it's more
compound
like, compound is where they're one word.
more than one word?
No, it's when two words form one word, no space.
Oh, no space.
Like, I don't know, you can probably think of one. Race car
Race car.
is one word, race car.
How about information and technology?
Sure, information technology.
But there are three words, right? Is there also?
Yeah, I mean, it says a pair or a group
a
group
pair
of words.
or group of words? I see.
Right?
How about
So-
high wind?
High winds, yeah, great one, yeah.
High winds.
We talked about that last lesson.
Yeah, correct. High wind.
So, yeah. And then I have a few more idioms here. So we have above board. What does above board mean, Carolyn?
If a situation or business is described as above board, it is open, honest, and legal.
Right.
Above board. Like, how do I make a sentence with this?
Ta-da.
To be transparent, is it?
Yeah, the contract negotiations were above board.
It's transparent. Can I say like the contract negotiations were transparent?
Sure.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, bend the truth. True?
Yes. Oh,
Bend
bend
the truth.
If you bend the truth, you say something that is entirely true.
Oh, sorry, not.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I bent the truth a little when I told them I was 35 years old.
Right.
Mm.
So you might, if you're applying for a job, maybe you would bend the truth and say you're older than you are,
Mm.
something like that. Okay,
How about twist? Can I say twist?
twist the truth. You could, but it's not an idiom. It's grammatically okay, but it's not something that's used as an idiom. Like, it's not commonly said.
I
A
see.
twist of fate is an idiom.
A
A
twist of
a twist of fate is a coincidence.
a
Due to a twist of fate, he ended up marrying his adopted sister. And that's a pretty weird one. Okay, something like that.
I say like Kate Middleton had a twist of fate when she got married. She married to Prince William.
Hmm, I wouldn't. I would
Because
say
it's a common
it's more like something that's kind of surprising. You would say it in the earlier part of the sentence. So prior to that, like in a twist of fate, Kate Middleton found herself married to one of the most powerful men in the world, something like that.
Oh, I see.
In the or in a?
In
In the twist of
in
fate.
we always use with twist of fate.
Okay, in the twist of fate, Kate Middleton just happened to.
No, don't use just happened because it's redundant. You're saying the same thing two times.
Oh,
Twist of fate and just happened. You're basically repeating yourself. So just
oh,
say in a twist of fate, Kate Middleton found herself married to one of the most powerful men in the world. Or in a twist of fate, it's more like a way to show like how some, like in this case, we would be using it to show that someone like a normal person, is she a normal? I don't know anything about these people. Was she
I used
like,
to read the news and she was a commoner.
okay, so yeah, in a twist of fate, a normal English girl found herself married to one of the royal family,
Found
something like that.
herself. Oh, okay. This is not so common in Mandarin.
I think
Why is
it
it?
happened in don't a lot of the royals in Britain marry, didn't the one that just retired, he married an American actress?
You mean the Duke?
Yeah, they resigned their title, right, and moved to
Uh,
California. They have a deal with Netflix now.
huh? With Net?
Meghan something,
Ah,
Meghan
yeah,
Markle,
Harry,
Oh, yeah, Prince Harry. Correct.
right? Prince Harry
brother of
married,
Prince William.
right?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
they left England because they said it was they said it was racist, which I don't know if that's really
Yeah,
true.
whatever.
I think they just wanted to go to be rich people in California. California is like Disney World for rich people.
Is
Disney
it?
is one new rich.
Parts of it, yeah.
I thought LA, not LA.
LA is in California, yeah.
Oh,
That's where they went.
New York. New York.
New
So,
New
More
York
like a
is more of a work. New York isn't as known for having a lot of celebrities. Yeah,
oh,
it has a lot, but LA is where Hollywood is, you know, so it has lots of stars, actresses, actors,
mm,
specifically places like Malibu and Napa Valley. So Malibu is a very high-end area by the coast.
Malibu.
Yeah, LA itself. Yeah, Malibu.
Malibu.
Also a type of alcohol, apparently. This is Malibu, California. It's like one of the most exclusive places. So it's a region of Los Angeles for like the ultra rich,
Ultra.
beachfront,
For the ultra rich.
right? Um. Anyway, there's all these like areas around LA, Santa Monica that that attract like ultra wealthy people. It's also close to Silicon Valley. Silicon Valley is where all these tech companies like Google, Microsoft, Apple, they all started there or are from that area. Actually, Microsoft started in Washington State, but they employ a lot of people in Silicon Valley, which means you have a lot of money coming in from tech, which then goes into the schools, the houses,
Silicon
rich.
Valley.
Yes.
Silicon named after what? Why would it be called Silicon Valley? You know why?
Because of the fiber.
Yeah, right. Because of what the microchips are made of.
Oh, microchips are made of silicon
Right.
and fiber. Oh, okay, I see. Thank you. Silicon and fiber, or they are the same thing?
Fiber is a more general term. Silicon is actually just an element. Like, do you remember from school the table of the elements?
Yeah,
Silicon is one of the elements. A
But I thought-
fiber is anything that forms like a string.
but I thought silicon is for the girls to make their breast bigger. That one.
It's what? That's silicone.
Oh yeah, silicon.
Silicone is for plastic surgery.
Oh, silicon.
Silicone is a type of plastic. Silicon without the E is a black mineral that's used for making computer parts.
Oh, so there are two. They just
Yeah.
differ by one letter.
Yeah, it's common for native speakers to get them confused too. People say Silicon Valley instead of Silicon Valley, but Silicon Valley, silicon is the element, silicone is it's a lightweight plastic it's basically the reason silicone is used in plastic surgery is it has the same basic feeling as tissue. So if you put implants in someone, the idea is that it's not going to be too much different than the original tissue that was there.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So also silicone is used to lubricate plastic.
Lubricate plastic.
Right. Okay. So bend the truth. We already did that. The benefit of the doubt. Do you know this one?
Benefit of the doubt.
True. Have you heard it before?
I heard it before, but I do not know how to use it.
So do you want to read the definition then? True.
If you give somebody the benefit of the doubt, you choose to believe that person is innocent, honest, or telling the truth, because there is no evidence to the contrary, right?
Contrary. You're correct.
Her mother gave her the benefit of the doubt, even though she caught her with the keys in the car.
Yeah, perfect. Yep.
So with the keys to the car. So what does that mean?
Like she was about to drive, even though she's not allowed to drive.
Oh, I see.
But her mother gave her the benefit of the doubt.
Oh. Give her the benefit of the doubt.
Right. And we could use it. Carolyn, can you use it in a sentence?
You mean for benefit of the doubt? I make a sentence with this. Like I gave my daughter the benefit of the doubt when I saw her walking with another man. I believe her.
Good.
That's just her classmate.
Perfect. Yeah. There's some suspicion, but you decide to believe the person anyway.
You decide to drop the suspicion.
Right.
Okay, good. Thank you.
But we can't give someone the benefit of the doubt if they are caught red-handed. So what does catch someone red-handed mean?
Mm. Catch someone catch someone on the spot.
Right, catch someone in the midst of a crime
Or in the midst of a crime.
or something wrong, of doing something wrong. Excuse me. I think you could use it like, for example, were you cheating on the test? I know you were. I caught you red-handed. You wouldn't say, were you cheating on the test? You would say, you were cheating. How do you know? I caught you red-handed looking at Sarah's paper, something like that.
So that's mean you are still giving that person a second chance. Never. No.
It means you're like, I've got you. You've been caught.
Oh, okay. Understood.
Whether or not you give them a second chance is up to you.
Mm,
But this is saying, it's saying like, you have no way out of this. You have no excuse. I've caught you doing that thing.
you have no way out of this. Means
You have no excuse.
okay, understood.
Okay. To cook the books.
Cook the books.
Mhm.
A person who cooks the books is one who changes the facts or figures in their financial accounts, often in order to steal money.
Mhm.
The accountant cooked the books to conceal the company's losses.
Right. So it's fraud, a type of fraud,
Mm.
but it's specifically accounting fraud,
Accounting fraud.
right?
It has to be accounting fraud.
Yes, it does.
And yeah, sorry if I run out of the topic. Just because I look at the because of the word book, so I thought of like some Chinese, right? They will actually like burn a yellow paper and then they will burn it and then they put it in the water. So to give their kids to drink it so they become smart. So what is that again?
It's a myth.
Yeah, they say that if you like
Ooh.
they will go to the temple and then they will get a yellow paper and then the master will actually like have some calligraphy on the paper. After that they say that, oh okay, you can burn it. You can burn, is it talisman?
Yeah,
Talis
burn the talisman. Yeah.
or from the talisman. Yeah, and then they ask us to like burn the paper and put it in the water, then you drink it. Then you can score very well in exam.
Sorry, I
You never
laugh.
heard. I used to, my mom used to make one for me
Oh, sorry, I laughed.
when
You
When I
too,
was
you
in-
also chew? Did your mom do that with you?
Oh, she just scolded me. That's all. Nothing can be done.
That's a good one. Yeah, I think a lot of cultures have things like that.
yeah, that one is what is that paper again? Do you know what's a paper? Perhaps it's like very strange to you.
Oh, wait. I need to excuse myself a while. I need to answer a
Okay.
call.
So yeah, I don't know what the name of the paper would be. I'm assuming you're asking Chu, right?
Actually both. I don't even know like
Just a
like
paper, a slip of paper. I would have to see it, but it probably has a specific name in Chinese. It might
It's
not
like some-
translate. What's that?
it's like a piece of paper like to keep us peaceful, something like that. Like some Buddhist, like last time I was a Buddhist and then they actually have this yellow paper for us to keep. It's from the talisman.
I think the paper would be a talisman, but I don't know. This is something that's kind of new to me.
Oh. Okay. I thought Thailand also got. I thought Thailand, they are very like,
Yeah,
especially the
super.
strong Buddhists, they have
Yeah, they have a lot of things like
amulet.
that.
What is amulet?
Oh yeah, they all have amulets, types of talismans. Talismans. It has some writing. I think it has writing in
Yeah,
it
yeah,
too.
yeah, correct, correct.
And then it has a little mini sculpture or carving of a monk, like a famous monk or Buddha or something else important.
Oh,
Like
that
it
one
might
is
have a
amulet,
temple.
right? That is not necklace.
It is a necklace.
Yeah, it is a necklace.
It's just a specific, an amulet is a necklace that's designed to keep someone safe
Oh,
or to bring them good luck. Yeah, they're super common. Most Thai people wear them. Well, most older Thai people wear them.
the Thai people.
Thailand also, it's important to remember that Thailand doesn't, they're super Buddhist, except for the Muslims in the south, but they also have a lot of like folk religion that
Folk
is
religion.
folk religion, like they believe in ghosts. A lot of people believe in ghosts and put offerings out for ghosts, like spirit. They have the little spirit houses and they put food and drinks out for people, even like whiskey. Like they put offerings out and that's supposed to keep the ghosts happy or to honor the people who have died. Like specifically,
Yeah.
they put red Fanta out, Fanta,
Oh, Fanta.
Fanta, yeah,
In Malaysia, it's also very common. Like some people, they want to get rich, right? They will actually like worship the dead child, the dead babies. They
yeah.
believe
That's
that
it. The Fanta is for the. It's something to do with like dead babies that died, like um during delivery or something like that.
But they say that if
And
let's say you stop giving offering or you stop sacrificing, right, then they will actually like
Haunting you
they will
non-stop.
haunt you like
right,
for the rest of your life.
right, which I
Really
don't think that's Buddhist. I think that's just folk religion,
folk religion.
right? Like that would mean it goes back to a time before Buddhism. It's a very old thing.
Oh, I see. How about deities?
Deities are any type of gods that are worshipped.
Any type of god that is worshipped. Oh,
Right.
okay, understood.
The word deus, or the Latin word deus, means God. So Deus, deus, it means God. So
US.
so anything like deify, that the verb deify means to elevate someone to the role of a god, like
Deify. How do you spell deify?
Deify. So to deify someone is to praise them a lot to the point where they become like a god. Like if I deify Chu, I say Chu is the best. She's the strongest in the world and she's so good at her job and I wish everyone was like her and I'm gonna tell all my students to be like Chu. That's deifying someone, right? Where
Is it something like
you
bootlicking someone?
in this case it is, yeah, but like think about famous historical figures like Winston Churchill. The British, you could say the British deify Winston Churchill even though he killed lots of Indians. Like because of Winston Churchill was this popular leader who helped win World War II for the British. So he's deified by the British. You know, they have schools named after him, they have statues of him. But in India, he's extremely unpopular because his policies led he purposely withheld food from the Indians to keep them from rising up against the British. So
Yes.
he's not popular in India.
Deify someone means to praise someone to the point you somehow like worship
Sure.
that person.
Yeah, correct, perfect.
Thank you.
So yeah, deity is a god. Deification is the process of becoming a god. There's probably other ones that I just am not thinking of. Okay, cross the line. This one is super common.
Is it the same as out of line?
Yeah, you're out of line. Telling someone, hey, you're out of line. You should apologize.
I learned it from the Fairbairn video.
From what? Oh, yeah. So that's out of line. Yeah, you're out of line. That comedy video.
Oh, yeah. Later I send you.
Yeah, it's a good
the
idea.
video,
So
the
let's use
Fairbairn.
that. Let's use to cross the line in a sentence. So we have this one. He really crossed the line when he said he won a Pulitzer Prize. Like he's lying in such a big way.
Can I say she really crossed the line when she said she graduated from Harvard University?
Sure. I'm going to change this to something more obvious. So he really crossed the line when he called her a nasty woman. When we're quoting someone, we use quote marks, quotations. So it's like one thing to be like, I disagree with you, but to cross the line is when you personally attack someone. It's like violating social standards when you go too far. And then I have a bunch of idioms that are all based on out. So let's go through these and make sure we know what they all mean. Out of bounds, what does this mean? Anyone can answer.
Out of the limit.
Correct. It comes from football, right?
Boundary.
Right. Out of bounds, crossing a limit. Like you need to talk to your son. He's out of bounds. Like he's bullying the other children, or if you use it literally, you could say like, oh, he keeps leaving school. He's out of bounds. Or you could say, okay, we're about to have a debate. A debate is where people argue for sport. You've heard of this? Okay, we're having a debate. These topics are out of bounds. Sex, religion, and something else controversial. Like sex, religion, abortion. These topics are out of bounds. So no one is allowed to discuss them during this debate because they're too sensitive. Okay, out of breath. What about this one? Easy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do we know what out of breath means, everyone?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
out of date.
Outdated.
It's expired. Yeah. This milk is out of date. And yeah, you can use it the way Carol said too. Like that expression is out of date.
Outdated.
Like don't, like a daughter could be saying to her mom, don't scold me with your out of date expressions. This is
Don't
the
scold me.
21st century.
Don't scold me with that out of date expression.
Right. Your mom could say, children should be seen and not heard. That's an out of date expression.
Should
It
be.
used this Children should be seen and not heard. It means back in early, like 200 years ago, it was believed that children should only speak when spoken to. So if your child is well behaved, they only talk when the adult talks to them first. So children should be allowed to be there during a conversation, but when the parents are talking about something serious, the children can't chip in. To chip in is to add a piece of information or something.
So that's mean children.
Children should be quiet while adults are speaking.
Oh, okay.
It used to be that you could get beaten even, like in American culture, if you go back like 200 or 300 years, a child like speaking out of turn to an adult, like speaking without being asked a question, they could get hit for that, you know, slapped or something like that. Obviously that things like that have changed a lot, you know, it's out of date. Out of hand. What does this mean?
This
Not enough help.
Out of control.
Oh, out of control.
out of control.
The situation in Ukraine is out of hand. It's out of control.
Situation in Ukraine.
You can think about the hand is what controls something,
Mm.
right? But if it's out of hand, it's doing whatever it wants without the hand holding it. So out of hand. Out of line, we covered that already. Out of the loop, what does that mean?
Suddenly.
Hmm?
Suddenly. Oh, sorry. Out of the loop.
Mhm. You thought it was out of the blue, right? Out of the blue is suddenly.
Yeah.
Do we have that?
Yeah.
I'll add it. It's a good one. Out of the blue is suddenly. Out of the loop, it means not up to date. Like, could you let me know about this? Could you tell me more about Bitcoin? I'm so out of the loop,
I'm so out of the loop.
right?
I'm not up to date.
Right. What's an NFT? I'm out of the loop.
Oh, what?
And then that person could explain what NFTs are.
Is it something new?
NFTs?
Mhm.
Yeah. It's a popular trend now.
Is it something like music industry or not necessarily?
It's just a mathematical code that's worth money, sort of like a Bitcoin. It's like, but they're commonly tied to, they're used as a way to show ownership of a digital picture, of digital
So
art.
all the money will go to the original.
Have you seen these NFT monkeys? I'm sure you've seen these.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, these are the most common ones that I've seen. But to buy one of these, to buy it, so every pixel is registered to a unique like mathematical equation, just like a Bitcoin or something else like that.
So to stop pirate ship and counterfeit.
It's just another way to buy and sell art. Yeah. If you own the NFT, then you own this image. It's your
But people
property.
can't copy and sell it.
But it doesn't matter because the copy has no real value. Because using the NFT, if you have that code or whatever, you can prove that you own it. This is not something I know a lot about.
Oh,
They're a common trend right now, especially among like young investors, like internet investors.
yeah, correct.
Okay, out of one's mind. What does this mean?
Are you crazy?
Yeah, crazy.
Crazy. I'm sorry, not you.
I got it. No offense taken. Chew out of one's hands. Different a bit than out of hand.
Out of one's hand.
I'll use it in a sentence.
Cannot
you
control
put-
something.
I can't control what the students do after they leave the school. That's out of my hands.
Mm.
What does it mean?
Things that I cannot control.
It means not your responsibility,
Oh,
not one's responsibility. By the way, we know that we use one in English as like a placeholder for he, she, it, we, they, you, I, right? One is just a placeholder. You can substitute it. So for something to be out of one's hands, it means that it's out of my hands. I can't do anything about your son. I'm sorry.
Mm.
It's a way of excusing yourself from responsibility. For example, you could say like, yeah, I think the example I gave was good. Like,
Mhm.
as a teacher, I can't control what students do outside of the school grounds. That's out of my hands. Run out of steam. What is this one? Or you could just use it without run to say, I'm out of steam.
no more fire.
Well, can you use it in a sentence?
Losing passion, losing.
Yeah. Correct. Like,
Potong steam in our language. No more steam. Yeah, potong steam, right?
Yeah,
steam.
correct. But that one is Malay one. Okay.
Yeah.
it comes from steam engines, right? Where the power was produced by steam. So when a train ran out of steam, it no longer could go.
To
Right.
lose passion.
Yeah. It probably the Chinese expression comes from the same, where
Yes.
if they run out of steam, then the train can't function anymore.
Yeah, they say no more fire or no more
Right.
no,
To lose passion.
no more fire.
Or you can use it in a more practical sense. Like you could say, why'd you slow down at the end of the race? I ran out of steam. Or he had a quick start to the 400 or to the 1600 meter dash. But by the last 200 meters, he had run out of steam and the guy in second won the race.
Oh,
The guy who had been in second passed him for the win, something like that.
he had a good quick start at the beginning, but he lost.
Right. He had good pace at the beginning, but he ran out of steam in the last section of the race.
He ran out of steam at the end of the
Race.
race. So
Out of touch.
okay, touch. Oh. Not
Is
sure.
it same like out of not up to date?
Yeah. There's also a famous song that I probably shouldn't play if you're going to upload this to YouTube. This is the famous song.
What?
Out of touch, 23 million views. It's an old song.
I think I wasn't born that time.
Neither was I. This is from the like early 80s or something.
Already. Oh,
You might recognize it if you heard it though. Okay, out of the ordinary. What does this mean?
extraordinary. Special.
extraordinary, right? Special.
Is it, can I say like outstanding for this too?
Yeah. It's more like unusual than outstanding.
Or extraordinary
Yeah, sure.
means
But extraordinary can have a positive connotation. Extraordinary could just mean unusual, but it could also mean like you could use it in a positive way as a compliment. Like you could say, she's an extraordinary student. They don't mean that she's extraordinarily stupid. They mean that she's extraordinarily smart. Even though extraordinary literally just means extra is more than an ordinary, or extra is outside or more than, and then ordinary is ordinary. So more than ordinary.
Oh.
But yeah, you could also say it's out of the ordinary is more just like unusual. Like, for example, the monk came to my house. It was very out of the ordinary. Like it's not something that normally occurs. Odd, yeah. Did you notice the police? The police will ask people, let's say someone is kidnapped. Kidnapped is when they're taken, right? The
Mhm.
police will go to the neighbors and say, on the day of the kidnapping, did you notice anything out of the ordinary? And somebody might say, you know, now that you mention it, I did see a white van with no license plate, something like that.
I see.
Number plate, license plate. Okay,
License plate,
yeah.
number plate. PLATE.
PLATE, correct.
Okay.
Out of the air.
Make up something.
Yeah, right.
Sorry?
Yeah, you
Make-
could say like out of thin air or out of the air. Like to take something from nothing. Like somehow he got out of trouble by pulling an excuse out of thin air. It's like, or the magician pulled a rabbit out of thin air. So it's like thin air, meaning like nothing. So they took something out of nothing.
What's the previous sentence that you made just now? Say that he
Pulled, as he was about to be scolded, the boy pulled an excuse out of thin air. Like, why were you inside the store after midnight? Oh, I was checking for rats because the owner asked me to check for rats.
okay, he pulls
Pulling,
and
like somehow this person is able to come up with an excuse even in a very difficult to explain situation.
oh, that's mean able to come up with a very brilliant excuse to
Right.
run away from
Yeah.
the consequence. See.
Can we say she's suddenly she got an excuse out of thin air. She applied leave an hour ago and she took a move quickly.
Sorry that my alarm went off the last part. What? I heard
Suddenly
pulled
she got an excuse out of thin air.
pulled. She pulled an excuse out of thin air.
Oh,
Use pulled as your verb. The reason for that is because if you look at it here, it's like why are these images so random? Okay, anyway.
Things.
Like the idea is like when you're doing coin tricks, right?
Mhm.
Pluck a coin from thin air. So you go, "Boom," and then all of a sudden the magician has a coin in their hand. Like they're holding nothing, and then they go down, and then they have a coin in their hand. So it's like a way of. That's why we say pulled out of thin air. It comes from the magic trick.
Like the coin appeared out of thin air. Thin air.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Oh,
you could also say to appear out of thin air. Like after months of searching, the lost ship seemingly appeared out of thin air.
understand.
Okay, so the rest of these we will go over in our next lesson. And then I have, you can look over these in your free time. These are idioms that I want to translate into regular English,
Oh,
but
the ship seemingly appeared out of thin air. Okay.
all right. And then I have some dialogue and some translations.
Oh, sure. So we don't have class on this coming Friday, right? Friday.
No.
Okay, yeah,
And
no.
even next.
All right. So I guess I will see you guys on Tuesday. Is that correct?
Yes, next Tuesday.
Okay, see ya.
Okay. Thanks so
Okay.
much.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.